Greetings, Minecrafters! Nonsanity here, and welcome to episode 5 of All the Mods 6. I always like to establish my resource sources early on, so they can build up and get me all the things I need for later in the game. So this episode, it's time to get more of that done. Let's get started. Yes, it's time to get some resources coming in. Now, we can always do more quarry and do 4x ore processing and soon 8x using elemental craft. But even more than that, I want to really focus on the mystical agriculture. Because when you get that really ramped up, you can do a lot. Now, I did shift things around a little bit down here. As you can see, I've got both the item collectors and harvesters out. Each harvester is doing half the field. This makes them run a little faster, but the smaller their range, the faster they harvest. So I will be using a lot of these, covering smaller areas in the future. And these are set up for max size, even though they overlap. There's no harm in that. And they're both feeding out to this. This is a dank dock. Yeah. If we go to the dank mod, you can see these are all the various danks at different levels. This is the dock. It's just black concrete in a circle. And then you put one of the danks in it, and it acts like an inventory. So if we open this up, you can see we've got the inferium seeds in essence, and then some of the other seeds I've made. I made a nether quartz seed, a dye seed, and a silicon seed. I just made the silicon seed, so it hasn't made much. And the other two, I just had one of each. I think the dye has given me 2 more seeds, so I've got 3 of them. Yes, 3 of those. And this nether quartz gave me 1, so I've got 1 more. So these first 2 here are quartz, 3 dye, and 1 silicon. As they give me more, I will put more out there so they grow faster, but I'm not yet ready to start really ramping this up, so for the moment this is fine. I'm not using this to really get usable quantities of anything, though the dye I can definitely start using at this point. There's 28 of them. That's enough to get me strange colored dyes if I need them. The dye seeds just required cyan, orange, pink, and lime, 4 of each. I did that just by running to the mining dimension, and all the mystical agricultural flowers are there. And you can use the petals from the mystical agriculture plants, like you get an orange flower from Botania plants. You get the Botania plants, craft them to get 2 petals, and then put the petals with the mortar and pestle, which is just some wood, a bowl, and a stick. And that makes the dye. So I can flew around real quick, grabbed those colors of plants, and made 4 of these to make the seeds. The quartz, the silicon, which I just made. Quartz you saw me make in the last episode. Silicon it's broken here in the JEI for some reason. You need the level 2 essence, and you just need to put silicon in these other slots, though the order doesn't matter. Silicon is gotten by taking either Certus or nether quartz and smelting it. Don't melt up your charged Certus quartz. You get a lot less than that, and you need that sometimes. Just regular Certus or regular nether. Since I'm doing refined storage, I have really no need for the Certus, so I smelted up just 4 of that to get the 4 silicon to make the 1 seed. And then as I get more seeds from the farm here, and they show up in this, I will replant them. Probably. See how it goes. Depends on how I set up the farm. Now, if you notice, this one is gold. That is the tier 3 dank, which can hold 4,000 items in each slot. Now, if you notice in my inventory, this is a dank 6. I had just the level 2 one for a long time, but I've got enough gold and emeralds and diamonds from the quarry that I took it all the way up, and then the next one is just obsidian. That's easy. And this guy has 262,000 items per slot. And it has more slots. So this can hold quite a bit, and it's probably more than I need to be carrying on me, but this will just suck up all the cobblestone and dirt that I drop, and it's set to filtered pickup, so it'll only pick up these items. So that'll be excellent if I ever have to do any more hand mining. I don't know how much more I'll need, but it's also good to carry building materials around with me. So this is a first draft at the farm, but I want to improve it. Now, let's do this in the right order. First things first, I want to upgrade this inferium to a higher grade automatically. So, let's make another machine. And it's already nighttime again. I'm going to use the RF Tools Crafter because it's really good at upgrading the essence, and I'll be using this Master Infusion Crystal in it. So let's get the ingredients I need for the RF Tools Crafter. Crafting tables, redstone torch, and a machine frame, which is 2 gold nuggets, 4 iron, 2 blue dye. Oh, these are drenched iron. I would put them in here with all the elemental craft stuff. Convert these over. There's the frame. I think it requires regular... Definitely have to set up a tree farm here shortly. I'm going to need more. Do I have more regular woods? I really don't have regular woods. If I use... mineral planks to make a crafting table, does that make a special crafting table? Oh, you can stain the planks. Oh, it's cork. Interesting. There's so many crafting table recipes, I'm not going to find it. Let's just go ahead and give it a try. Actually, maybe cherry won't. I have cherry planks, I think. Yeah. Let's see if that makes a cherry crafting table. No, it makes a regular one. All right. Cherry it is. I only need 2 more. All right. Put that away. Oh, it did make a cherry crafting table. Wait, what? Well, hopefully I can use those. We'll find out. Redstone and some sticks. So I need 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because I'm going to make a tier 3. So that's that. Let's see if these crafting tables work. They do not. Of course not. But these do. Yep. So mineral. That makes regular crafting table. All right. Toss those in there. So bring this up to tier 3. All right. Tier 3. I want tier 3 because that lets it have more recipes. So let's take this down. I don't think I need anything else. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to disconnect that. So I don't want just anything going in there. Oh, that's right. I wanted to... Well, I think I can do this just fine. No. Yeah, I can't use these for what I need. I could use a router, but instead, since we had the mineral wood, that reminds me, let's go ahead and do integrated dynamics. I'll toss that in there for now. Let's get started on integrated dynamics. Then we can finish setting that up. Alright, so I've got some mineral logs here. I need some iron. What we want to do to start it is make a squeezer, which is a block of iron, some sticks, and some planks. 2 planks here. Some sticks. Make a block of iron. And squeezer. And now it'd be handy to have a pressure plate. Let's set this here. The pressure plate in front of it. Put a mineral log. Oh, there's one more thing. Let me put it back down again. You notice this trough from the center? It's going in this direction. I want to rotate that. Oh, I'm getting the clicky clickies. Let's flip in there. Did that. Now I want to make the drying basin, which is some black dye, iron ingots. 2 iron. Oh, I got iron. Black dye I think I've got plenty of. I got enough of. And what was the other thing it needed? Logs. Let's not use the mineral logs. Let's grab some cherry logs. Alright. Drying basin. Oh, yeah, I gotta convert the black dye. Alright. And that you want to put on the side where that one of those channels are, because that way the fluid that this creates will flow out into that block. Now we can right-click it with a block of mineral wood, and it won't let me put it in there. Did something change? You put mineral planks and get resin. Use of mineral logs in the squeezer, you get mineral resin. Well, if I jump on it, okay, it's all the way down. No, I still can't put anything in it. All right, let me investigate this and see what's up, because that is not right. Okay, this seems to be a known bug. So, we're not going to be able to use these guys. Neither one of them works properly. But there is a way to work around it. If I can find a mineral sapling. I'm pretty sure I have some. There's some. Oops. And now I need some bone meal, which I should have plenty of. And I know I can do better if I run it through a machine, but this is good enough for the moment. Let's just go over here. Oh, turn that off. What we can do is by growing up the mineral tree, ooh, and chopping that down, and of course, there we go. Doing this, we get these crystallized mineral chunks, and if we do this enough, then we can make the blocks we need. There's 12. So now this will make 1 block. And while these basic ones don't work, we can upgrade them. Diamond, obsidian, and then 2 of these energy batteries. The energy batteries require 2 blocks each. And then, so that's 4 of those and 6 of these. So I got to keep doing this until I have enough. So not ideal, but it is doable. So let me do that, because it's boring, and I will be right back. Alright. I've got 4 blocks and 13, so that is enough, and a whole lot more wood as a result. Alright, so now we can upgrade this by... I need some redstone blocks. Jet back off. Got some, might need more. So 2 of these batteries. That upgrades. Oh, need a diamond and obsidian. Diamond. And I've got obsidian in my tank. There we go, mechanical squeezer. We also need to upgrade the drying basin, which requires more of these, of course. Now, the bug that was reported said that the drying basin still doesn't work. But let's try that by putting it next to this, tossing some wood in there. And I guess I need to pipe the fluid out. So let's pipe to here. Well, okay, it filled it. Does it dry, though? Oh, it does. Alright, so that part does work. Oop. So now we can turn the wood into more of these. Oh, that's plenty. Did not mean to do that. With these, I can now make plenty of the blocks. And actually, I think I just destroyed the mineral juice that was in that pipe, but that's okay. Got plenty now. Alright, so now I can take this and upgrade it. 2 more batteries. That helps to be in the crafting table. And 2 more obsidian. Alright. So I'm going to rearrange these a little bit. No, that was fine for now. Put the drying basin here and the squeezer there and a pipe between them like that. Put the wood in here. And the resin is flowing in here and making plenty of the... See, I don't have to right-click it to pull the things out. So that's going to give us all that we'll ever need. So much of the stuff. And you can always turn these back into 9 of the chunks if you need more of those. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and toss these mineral logs into my tank. And put away a few things, and then we can start using integrated dynamics. Sorry for that pause there. Busy cleaning everything up here. The berries. See, the berries can also... They're used for a few recipes, like it seems. That's right, there's mineral stone torches, but I'm sort of beyond torches now. Fruit salad. Oh, that could be used for a fruit salad. I haven't eaten one of those. Trail mix. Proto-chorus. Oh, that can make the crystallized chorus chunks. Interesting. Alright, that's for later, though. Alright, integrated dynamics. What do I want to make in this mod? Well, one thing you always need to make is a variable store. That's a chest. What's that in the middle? That's something new? No, okay, it's just one of the very many flavors of chest in this pack. So one variable store. I need to make the cards. Where are the cards? I do need to make the programmer. So I need to make another. Let's get some of this wood out. Make a crafting table with a mineral chunk. That gets the logic programmer. Craft that again. We get the portable one, which is handy. There are the cards. So paper. How many get per recipe? 24. So I'm just going to... 2 of those are probably good for now. If we need to make more later, we can. Alright, that's the basics. Now to actually start doing things. We're going to use integrated tunnels. So I need an item interface, which is another chest. Just bring a bunch of chests into inventory. This makes 4. And then I want to make an item importer, which is this widget. So I need to make a sticky piston. You know, I'm going to make 16 pistons because there's need to do so. Let's get some more wood. So now I've got a bunch of pistons for the future. And reload my cobblestone. I always like to have a stack of cobblestone in slot 4. Alright, so got pistons, and for the item importer, it was a sticky piston. So, grab some of my limited. I'm just going to grab 2, make 2 of these. Don't need 2 at the moment, but I might in the future, so... That's right, that makes 4. It's more than enough for now. Alright, this. And then we need the cable. There it is. Sticks and redstone. Sticks. Does not always balance very well. All right. So let's go set this up. Go down here. And I guess we'll put the variable store here. It does not need power, but I'm going to just put it next to power. Might not even need a variable store in this case. This is a very simple setup. Yeah, let's take that off. I'm just going to put a cable there in between them, and then an item importer down there, and the item interface on that. And now we want to alright, well, to keep it simple, I'm going to need one more machine. I'm going to need a materializer. Materializer. I don't have any more redstone. Otherwise, I need to have some extra cables and a messier setup, and it'll just be easier if I use a materializer. There we go. And though I'm going to be using that, I do temporarily need one more device. I need an inventory reader. There we go. All right, let's show you how to set this up. You see, these item importers, if we open one up, they've got all these, I don't know what you want to call them, tasks that they can do. Importing all items, import item amount, import item slot, import item by type, or by item type, import items, give it a list of items that you wanted to import. Then these two get a little bit more complicated. What I want to do is import only one item, so this white line here. But I need to tell it what item I want it to import. So, the way you get an item to be recorded onto one of these cards, or one way to do it, is if I attach this inventory reader and a piece of cable, and we look in here, the inventory reader tells, we can read lots of different things from the block we're attached to. Is the inventory full? It is not full. Is it empty? No, it's got stuff in it. It's not empty. You see it says false. Inventory not empty? That's true. Is it an inventory? That's true. How many things are in the inventory? Well, there's 3,051 items in there, of all types. How many slots does it have? How many slots are currently filled? What is the percent ratio that it is filled? It's 22% filled of the slots. I don't think that's of how much it can hold. I'm not sure it can read the danks properly in that sense. This is a list of all the items that are currently stored in it. This is what's in a specific slot, slot 0. We can change that here. Like right now it says Inferium Essence, because that is in the first slot, slot 0. Slot 1 should be Inferium Seeds, so if we go in here and say, give me what's in slot 1, Inferium Seeds, so you can change that. At the moment, I do want what's in slot 0, because that's the Inferium Essence, and that's what I want to have permanently. So I'm going to put this card in here. And this is now a variable that contains whatever's in this slot right now. So I take this out, and I can't see what its value is in my inventory, but it is whatever's in the slot of this device. With a caveat here. It has to be connected to this network. Well, these two are not connected to each other. So if I put down the materializer here, it now is attached to this network. So if I put the card in here, it sees Inferium Essence because it's connected to this device. And this thing, it doesn't really have these words stored on the card. What it has is this inventory reader and whatever's in this slot, this slot item type. If I change what was in the first slot, it would change. It's live. It's saying whatever's in the first slot of that inventory, as long as I'm connected to it. Now, if I take this and instead I attach it, this is some Integrated Dynamics 101. I don't want that. Probably okay. It's attached down there. Let me detach that so it doesn't try and do anything with it. There. All right. I don't want anything going in there that shouldn't be. I don't think anything can, because only cards can go in there. So now if I take this card, here it is, put it in there, it does not know. It can't see part ID 38. This happens to be part ID 38. I don't think there's any way to see what that ID is in it, but because these two are not connected to each other, this is meaningless, because part ID 38, variable ID 40, well, that's its card number. You can't see 38. Now, if I attach these two, now it works, because now I can see it. So it's a live requesting from what's connected to this. That means I always have to have this connected to the network for that to have any sort of value. It's not what I want. So let's take this back down here. I guess I could have left everything connected, but I want to show this. So now I put it in here. It should have... Oh, it got picked up. It's in here now. There it is. So it should have Inferium Essence in there. But what the materializer does, while this is a live updated reference to what's in there, if I put a card down here, okay, it just didn't visually move over. See, now it says variable card inferium essence. So this one doesn't, this says part ID 38. I mean, it's going out to this part and requesting what's in that slot. But this one has the inferium essence item type. You can see it says type item embedded in it permanently. This is standalone. I can put this anywhere. So I can bring up here and say, whoop, I just got knocked off. I'll be right back. All right, back from the client crash. Everything seems to be okay now. We'll see. All right, anyway, so this is now a static value that I can place in here. You see it says inferium essence will now be imported. And it should be, oh, yep, it's completely, well, there was some seeds in there too. But yeah, it's putting the essence in there. If I can't sort my inventory while I'm in there. So I grab a bunch of this essence, whoop, it fills it back up again. So only essence will be going in there. And I don't need to have this connected anymore, because the materializer made that a permanent value of inferium essence locked into the card. So materializer is useful that way, to have permanent references that don't have to be dynamic references. If I didn't have the materializer, I'd have to keep that inventory scanner here and hook it up to this pipe, and then use this live version, which I can now erase, instead of this static version. But now it's, just one piece of pipe and two of these connectors, and I've got a filtered item mover. It would be nice if you could make, let's see, this is the Portable Logic Programmer. If I open it up, it has a ton of operations that you can perform, including some static things. Like I can say this is an item. Well, actually, can I do it this way? I say put this item in here and give it to me. Oh, I didn't need the materializer after all. I forgot about this. Yeah, so this is now a static crystallized mineral chunk card. I could have done this by just taking a piece of the inferium essence, opening this up, going to item, placing it in here, and then there you go, a static inferium essence. Still, it is good to know about the way the whole networks work. So I'm glad I told you all that, and the difference between a live and a static. But you can make the static one fairly easily without having to mess with the materializer. It has more esoteric uses in specific cases. All right, there you go. So you can I can swap, take this one out and put in this one we just made in there, and it works exactly the same. It doesn't matter. They're the same data. But hopefully you learned a little bit about integrator dynamics right there. So there we have a filtered pipe, and it's very fast. You can see. I pull all this out, bloop, it fills back in very quickly. I think you can, let's see, let's open this properties here. We have channel, round robin, blacklist, item transfer rate. So this is how many per step it does, and it's doing a whole stack. Yeah, this is -1 for an item slot, means it doesn't matter what slot it's taking it from. I could change this to 0, and it would only take it from slot 0. But I wanted to take it from whatever slot it's in, so we've restricted it by the type. Check stack size, check NBT, empty is wildcard, yeah, lots of different things. If I wanted to have 2 destinations, and I wanted to split it evenly, that's what the round robin, set that to true. And this blue thing is where it's pulling, and it's going to send it to these white ones. And with round robin turned on, it'll split it between the two. Because it's doing a stack at a time, it'll send a stack to each one. If you wanted to send 1 to 1, 1 to the next, 1, 1, 1, set that stack size down to 1, and it would do it one at a time. But it would be, of course, a lot slower that way. Ticks per operation, it's set to the maximum of or minimum time of 1 tick per operation, which makes it very fast. Priority is if you got multiple things and you want to change which one gets priority. And the other thing that might be useful is channel. Right now, both of these are set to interface channel 0. If they're different, like if I set that to 1, so now this guy's on channel 1, this guy's on channel 0, it won't work. Well, that's interesting. It's sort of working. It shouldn't, but it is. Because this guy is definitely on channel 0, and this guy is... Oh, I forgot to hit save. Save! Okay. Now, yeah, see, it won't work. Because this guy can only send to channel 0, and this guy is channel 1. But if we put him back down to 0 and save, now he's filled back up again. So you can have multiple different pairs of blue and white, or if you wanted to reverse it, orange would pull from whites. So I can put an orange one in here and a white one here, and the orange would pull what it wants to pull across the network. But blue's, either way works. But, if I had another pair of these and they were connected together into one network, by setting channels for this one to 0 and the channel for the other pair to 1, then they won't cross and send to each other, because any white one isn't a valid destination for this blue one pulling stuff out and into the network. It will send it to the white. And these item transferrings through integrated dynamics, that's a separate mod. That's integrated tunnels. And if that's not present and you just have integrated dynamics, you can't use it to transfer items. Okay, continuing on, we now have... Actually, I do want to disable this temporarily, because I'll be doing things in here. We want to start upgrading this essence. So I'm going to click this first recipe, and we're going to build, you see, that's why I turned it off. I didn't want it to fill it up with essence. And we're going to do that. Now we want to keep one item in every inventory slot. Don't have to, but I like to. And this one I want it to be internal. So basically what it's going to say is it's going to pull the inferium essence out. Let's get all of it out. Let's tighten up my inventory there. This will be easier to remove all this. All right, just down to 1. Did my character have the hiccups there? That was weird. All right, so if we click on this, there. For some reason it didn't reload those. Oh, because I haven't applied it yet. So I'm saying keep. Where did it get the... I still don't think cyclics disable actually disables. I think that's where those seeds that came in through that. I think that's a bug. Anyway, so I gotta set this again. Keep internal. So basically what I'm saying is, if we have essence in these slots, I want it to craft it up to this, but don't empty this slot completely. Leave one in there. Don't have to. If I set it to all, I can then use the remember. I just click this remember. Now if we take this stack away, you see there's a ghost image. Now if we take this away, there's a ghost image. Only the crystal fits in there, and only the essence can fit in there. It can fit anywhere else too, but only this essence will fit in that slot. You can hit forget, and then they're cleared. I want it to remember. So then you can use the all. You can use all the essence because it's still going to be locked to that type. And I'm saying internal. If it's set to external, it will put the result in these outputs. So you can pipe it out. But I want to tier it all the way up to the top tier. So I want it internal. So I'm going to apply You see it just worked. So now we have the Prudentium essence, and I'm going to say remember again. So now we've got that locked in that slot. Now we go on to the next recipe. And we say apply. Oh, see, I set it to external, and it threw out our master crystal. We don't want that to ever happen. So we're going to say internal. Oh, and apply. There we go. So now it's finished. I'm going to say remember. So now it's locked into that slot. So let's get a few more stacks of this. Toss it in. You see it's moving this. It doesn't have to put it back where I told it to place it. You can put it in any of these slots, just that only this crystal can go in this slot. I will eventually fill all of these up and lock them all. Alright, so now we can put in a little bit more of this stuff. There we go, and it's now up to tertium. Time for the next recipe. All internal crystal. And apply. There we go. Ready for the next one. Crystal. 4 of these. Oh, let's remember, so that's locked to blue. And apply. Oh, I forgot to set that to internal. Apply. And remember, so now that's locked to red. I want to take it up one more level, though. So I'm going to just quickly... There, briefly turned on, so it just filled up with this essence. And now it's just going to run like crazy. You can make it go slow or fast. There's the fast mode. You see it tore through it pretty quickly. Little rocket ship here. So now we've got enough to make the last conversion to Insanity. Now this one I do want to send out, but I don't want it to send out the Master Infusion Crystal. So there's one more mode here. External C. The result of the crafting operation will go to the output buffer, but remaining items, like buckets, or in this case, the crystal, will stay in the input. So since it doesn't use this up, it stays part of the crafting. Instead of sending it out, it'll keep it in. And this will be the last step. There we go. So now, I'm going to disable it, turn it on, let it fill up. Didn't have enough to fill all the way up. So I'll spread out like that and remember. So now all these slots are programmed for essence. And I just have one slot each for each type. And one for the Master Inclusion Crystal. That's what I want it to be. And now I can turn it back on. And there we go. We have 2 Insanium essence. Just took all of that essence. Oh, but that's right. Whoops. Didn't want to do that. Let's turn it back off again. And I want to take one of these. Well, I can't take it. That was weird. More bugs. I'm going to downgrade it back to Inferium. I'm going to, see, I grabbed that. Put the, okay, so we already had some there. In the Danks, if you control click, it locks that slot to that item. And now I'm going to fill up all the remaining slots with something else and lock them all. There's a problem with this, but we'll get to that in a moment. Actually, let's not do that. You can't hit the sort button when you've done that because it will collapse everything. As you can see, it collapsed all this. Sort. All right, I'm just going to... I want this one to be first. Yeah. There's a lot of seeds. It sorts them by quantity. Oh, what is it doing? That is weird. Okay. Let's leave and make sure. Alright, that's the order I want things to be in. Even though all of this stuff is immediately getting piped out, I want that to be in the first slot. Alright, so with the red, it cannot completely empty that slot. So if there's 17 of these here, if I try and pick up the whole stack, I actually only got 16, and it left one behind. So that way that slot will always have room for inferium. So even if this fills up with other things, it'll always have room for inferium. Turn it back on. See, it'll always have one in there. You saw, as the farm picks more up, you see it go up to 2 and then go back down to 0 as it sends it off over here. Alright, so this thing will just keep creating insanium essence. And eventually fill up this. So actually, now that I think about it, let's take it one step further. Let's turn it off. It needs redstone now to activate. I'm going to hit... See, at this point, if I hit forget, it'll erase all these slots. But really, I only want to change one slot, but I can't force the change. So I'm going to have to hit forget. And put this here, and then I'll have to take one of these red and downgrade it to blue. So I can put the blue in there. Now I can say remember. And I can move these. Missed. Alright. So those are all locked in. So I'm going to add one more recipe here. Nicely, it's not, these don't actually take the items, so even though I have 2, I can put all of them in there. And this one, all external. I'm going to set it to external C, even though there's nothing to keep. I just generally do that always. And apply. Oh, and this one I need to change it back to internal. Apply. Alright, so now... Yeah, it's weird, I couldn't put it in my inventory. Turn this back into red. If I toss this in there, it'll immediately turn it into purple and keep it in here. And it's not. Apply. Oh, because it's off. There we go. So I took 4 of the red and made it purple. And then as soon as it has 9 purples, it'll turn into a block and toss it out here. This way I can hold 9 times as much in my output. Now I can have it piping back into this thing or something, but this is fine for now. Oh, less cables. I will deal with that later. So, alright, so now this thing is producing plenty of stuff. I'm going to take these 2, which I still can't put in my inventory for some reason. Turn them into red because I'm going to make something else. Let me empty out some of my inventory. I'm going to use this as storage for this mod. Don't need to put the mineral wood in there. That I can put in my tank. And then put the pistons in there. That stuff away. Redstone. Alright. Alright, slight pause there. I want to make a watering can. Now, there are many levels of watering can, but let's go for the top tier. Can I? I'm not sure I have enough of the mystical fertilizer. I can make it, though. I got the diamonds, and I got the regular inferium. Not a problem. So this requires supremium, which is 2 each. That means it's going to need 8. And I've got 8. But I'm going to need some of the lesser as well. I'm going to need some more blue. And I'll get more of this. Let's go back down and get... Oh, let's sleep. Alright. Let's go down here and see what we have loaded. Alright, we got more of the red. Let's see. It still won't let me place it. Alright, I can put it down here. That's just weird. Grab a blue too. Again, I can't place while I'm in that interface. So strange. So I can take 2 of these and downgrade them. And then take 1 of these and downgrade it. And then take 1 of those and downgrade it. And that gives me all the tiers. Oh, and how much of the... I got 1. Let's lock that. I used some earlier, but I only had like 7 or 8. I'm not getting as much of that yet as I would like. Oh, I had to restart after the crash. I need to flip my sound. There's the bone meal. Get some diamonds. Get a bunch of iron. Alright, let's go up the levels here. Starting with the basic one. I need a wooden bowl. I don't have any wooden bowls, so let's make a wooden bowl out of cherry. Alright. Put it away. There's the basic watering can. To upgrade it, we need 4 of these. And 4 of... Oh, yeah, I need the prosperity shards, too. Got plenty of those. So we're going to need 4 for each level. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels. So I'll need some more of this prosperity shards. 1, 2, 3, 4 to get up to 20. There we go. And the first I need 4 at this level. And that way we can make this guy. Then we need to make 4 more for each level. So that's green, orange, blue, red. That's all that stuff we need. Green 4 ingots. I need to make... I need 8 at each level. Oh. Did not... Oh, wrong stuff. This stuff. There we go. 4 of those. Make this one. And I need 8 of that. There we go. Now I got enough for everything. This level. Upgrade. Blue. Nope. Oh, this balance doesn't work properly. And upgrade. Finding so many bugs in this episode. And use. There we go. Top tier Supremium watering can. So what can this do for us? Let's fill it. I think I could fill it from my hidden pool here. I got another one of these upside down stairs. No, it won't fill from that. That's alright, we can just fly over here to some water. There we go, now it says it's filled. And let's see what effect it has on the crops. If I come out here in the middle and start watering. Yep, you can see the crops are growing faster. They're actually going to grow faster than the harvesters can harvest at their large area of effect. By reducing that area of effect, they will scan over the plants more often, faster, and they'll be better able to keep up with this speed. The only thing, I can't just stand here and use this watering can constantly. That would be a waste of my time. So let's make another device to do it for us. And that is, there we go. That is the mechanical user, I think it's called. It's from Cyclic User. This guy. Item user. Gold blocks, dispenser, tripwire, magma block, and obsidian. Alright, so let's get all this stuff. Some sticks. Get some wood. Need a little bit of iron. I have a little bit of iron. Need a little bit of gold. Need 1 redstone. 3 string. Alright, let's start putting this stuff together. Dispenser. What was... So rarely make tripwires. I always forget the recipe. Cherry logs. Oh, these things were still there, but not visible. So many bugs. It's the bug day. No, give me more than 1. And obsidian and magma. I have magma block in here. I've got obsidian in my dank. And that should be all we need. Item user. Now the item user does require power. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, requires power. So we made that flux network last time. Yeah, so let's make another flux point. A block of redstone. So I need to make 4. Oh, I need another ender pearl. Definitely going to have to improve my ender pearl quantities shortly. Blaze. Oops. Put 1 back. Only need 1. Ender pearl, blaze, ender eye. Craft 4 of these and turn them into a point. Put the rest away. Don't need the bowls. I'll take all this down with me. Alright, let's go down. Yeah! Bugs! Put these in there. And I can put these in there. I still have the bone meal, but that's okay. And you go in there too. Alright, so what am I going to do with this? Let's... Not over there. Yeah, like that, and I'll have to dig up a crop. So I can, and down a bit more. So I place this facing down right there. And stuff got sent. Oh, that's weird. It's disconnected from it. Still, oh. That's weird. Okay, it's working. Somehow I swapped my dank for the one that was in there. So what does my dank have in it now? Alright, it's still fine. But the dirt. Okay, so the dirt, because mine was in there for some reason at that moment. I put the dirt in there. I've got a hoe. And we'll grab an essence. Whack it on there, and a seed. Oh, I have plenty of seeds on me. And replant that. Okay, so now, get rid of that. In here, we place the watering can. I can put the flux point on it and connect it up to the non's net. Okay, it's filling it up. And we're going to say always on, and let's reduce the tick down to like 5. Alright, record scratch. Editing out a chunk as I was wondering, why wasn't this working? Was it another bug? I was in the bug mentality because there have been so many in this episode. No, there's a reason why this is not working. And that is because I have these chunks claimed, which means nobody else can come in here and interact with my stuff. And that includes the fake users in item users. So what we have to do is go into the allies, and there are a lot of users on the server. But I went down and I found that this is the one that represents this guy here. So if I turn it on, now you can see the crops are growing in the background there. So this is our guy. So I can turn off all these others. They belong to somebody else. And there's a lot of them. Probably more than there should be on the server. They're very useful devices, but this is an excessive amount of users. Deployer. I want my builder to stay in there. I guess I'm the only one with a builder. Deployer. I don't know what the deployer is. So that's the one that does the crops. And you can go down and see, I don't have a forester, that's somebody else too. You can just turn them on one at a time and see which one works. And that was the one that did it. And you see they're growing very fast now. So fast that this thing probably needs to have its range reduced to be able to keep up. So there it's doing a smaller area. Can it keep up? I'm going to basically have to use more harvesters. Okay, so it's just doing from this row to this row. And that's, okay, it can definitely do that. Let's take it up to 7 by 7. So now it should get 1, 2, 3. It should get this row. There it goes. This row, this row, this row. Can't tell which row it's in until it hits some that are, there we goes. Come back around to this one. We won't see it because nothing's grown. There goes that one. All right. So it can definitely keep up at this size. So basically I have to, sort of step through the various sizes to see how big it can be and still clear the field before it gets completely overgrown. Because every moment that one of these sits in fully grown condition without being harvested is sort of a waste of time. This might be fast enough. You can see there's a lot of them grown over here. There it goes, harvesting them. But it's less than the full row, so I'd call that a success. There's a lot of noise going on from zombies and stuff above me here. So that's doing pretty good, but what I want to do, this watering can works in 11 by 11 area. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out to here. It doesn't cover this last row. So if I make another harvester and place it here and just do a 3 by 3 in front of it and put all my fancy seeds in that area. So let's clear out that area. And then put all these specialty seeds I've got. Nether quartz, silicon, dye seeds. And put a harvester here. These should grow on the quicker side because of the watering can, but a fast harvester. Or maybe I should just go ahead and put down a whole bunch of harvesters with smaller scale and cover the whole field. That's probably the better bet. So let me make a whole bunch of these. These two item collectors cover the whole area, plus some. I can expand the garden out farther. But if I'm going to make smaller patches for the harvesters to work with, there'll need to be space between the rows for the harvesters. So I'll have to figure out a layout that works. And if I take these down to like 5 by 5, they'll be plenty fast enough for a good long time to go. So alright, so let me do that. Turn off. And I will be right back. Actually, I think we need to wrap this episode up. It's getting a bit long. So while I'm still working on exactly how I want to lay these out, I've got a little bit done here. These 5 harvesters are doing a 5 by 5 each, so they're pretty fast. And then there's 2 harvesters that cover all of the back area, which is all just inferium at the moment. And this might work pretty well. I've buried the item pipes that come to the dank from the 2 item collectors that cover the whole field. So yeah, this might work, but I'll play with it a little bit more and show you the results in the next episode. So, here we're going to wrap it up. This is Nonsanity, signing out. Take care, be good, and see you next time.